Finally, we got several questions from our audience about the coroner's comments in this case and the autopsies. Some strange statements from her, a lack of information or unclear information when it comes to the bodies. Now, Kathy Mobbitt is the Latah County coroner.
Well, there was a lot of blood. It was, yeah.
Do we know how long between the time of death and when police found them, approximately?
No. I don't know for sure.
Do we have any, could it have been hours? Could it have been a day? Was it maybe close? Is there any sort of time frame there?
Not that I'm aware of.
Watch how she talks about the murder weapon.
You're ruling all 4 deaths homicides?
Yes.
Okay. And can you give us a manner of death? Yeah.
I believe that the press release was that they were from a sharp object. So
stabbings.
Yeah, I will know more after the autopsies tomorrow.
Some of the overall confusion likely came from how the 4 victims were described in the Kohlberger arrest affidavit and the inconsistencies. All right, so let's walk through some of it. Xana Kernodle's injuries were described in the affidavit as being, quote, caused by an edged weapon. What does that mean? Why can't they say knife? What does that even mean? Of Kaylee and Maddie, they were, quote, visible stab wounds. Is that a distinction between an edged weapon? For Ethan Chapin, the section begins by saying he was, quote, deceased with wounds later determined, end quote. And then there's a curious redaction before continuing, quote, caused by sharp force injuries. What's that? We also don't know the number of stab wounds on each victim, and typically they would release that. This is relevant to the timeline and, of course, the ferocity of the crime, which the prosecutors will want to introduce. Remember, prosecutors will try to prove that Kohlberger committed these 4 murders in a short window of less than 20 minutes on 2 different floors of the house. The defense is going to want to argue it's impossible. And so even the defense may want to point out the number of stab wounds if it was high to try to say how could he possibly have done this? There had to be multiple people. Who were they? Where are the connections? All of that.